Welcome to episode 3. 1986 Topps Traded Tiffany Barry Bonds recently sold for $15,000 in PSA 10. Today we're going to look at how to identify that card as well as any other 1986 Topps Tiffany card. Let's take a look at the differences between the Topps Tiffany and the base Topps. You can see the Tiffany just has more vibrant colors. It also has that glossy coating. It's a bit harder to see in a scan, but you can really see and feel it if you have it in person. On the back, the 86 Topps base has that grayish brownish cardboard. It also has the printed in the USA marking as well as a star on the back. Even the Topps Traded has those 2 stars on the back, distinguishing it from the Topps Traded Tiffany. So thankfully Topps made this a little bit easier to see. If you have the back, you can really tell the difference. So online, the back is really the best way to tell. Just be on the lookout for altered images or where they say the card's a Tiffany, but they don't show you the back of the card. As I said before, seeing these in hand though, that's really where you can see and feel that the Tiffany card is different. So let's take a look at some live 1986 Topps and Topps Tiffany examples. Let's start with the Topps Tiffany. See the gloss on these cards, just more vibrant colors in general relative to the base. No markings on the back, very easy to read the back. It's that white cardstock like we talked about. Versus the base, there's no gloss on the front, it's just that plain cardboard feel. Same on the back, you can see. Also has the printed in the USA and the star and sheet number, like we talked about as well. So yeah, now that we've looked at the cards themselves, let's take a look at some pop and pricing data as well as some background information on Topps Tiffany. Topps Tiffany was produced from 1984 through 1991. You can see here in 1986, the print run was approximately 5,000 sets. Little background on Topps Tiffany. They are manufactured in Ireland using specialized machinery and this glossy chrome coat cardstock. The set is labeled Collector's Edition. The Tiffany name was actually given by the hobby. As always, beware of counterfeits and altered online images with these cards. So yeah, that's a little background on Tiffany. So let's go take a look at some pop and pricing of a few cards from this set. We're starting off with the 1986 Topps Traded Barry Bonds. These base Topps Traded sets were really opened extensively during Bonds' home run record chases. Total pop, more than 63,000. So this is one of the most graded baseball cards of all time. Very abundant. Goes to show why the PSA 9 price ratio and the PSA 9 pop ratio are quite high on this card. There's more than 5,000 PSA 10s of this card. Again, the abundance of the population, I think, has suppressed the PSA 10 price here. This is the only card that we're going to look at where the PSA 9 Tiffany is worth significantly more than the PSA 10. I really attribute that to just the supply of PSA 10s available of this card. The Tiffany PSA 10, though, sold for $15,000 in June 2026. So each Tiffany series, I profile 3 Hall of Famers, the same 3 Hall of Famers throughout the series. We'll start with Nolan Ryan. More modest price and pop ratios here, but part of that is to do with the gem rate. Look at the 1.7% gem rate on the base Topps. It's a very tough card to gem of Nolan Ryan. And Nolan Ryan also just has a real following. In the 1980s, PSA 10s of Nolan Ryan have kind of seen an uptake in interest over the last few years. PSA 10 price $5,000 for the base versus the PSA 9 Tiffany, only $324. That $5,000, that's the combination of the demand for Ryan and then just so difficult to gem this particular card. No recent PSA 10 Tiffany sales here. Here we have Rickey Henderson, also tough one to gem with the base, 2.8% gem rate. PSA 9 price, $90. PSA 9 Tiffany, $216. No recent PSA 10 Tiffany sale on record. These things just don't come up for sale too often, particularly when you only have a pop of 20 on this card. But here, PSA 10, significantly more than the PSA 9 Tiffany. When thinking about what to choose, really is going to be case-by-case basis, card-by-card basis, based on the pricing and pop data. We can see there's differences between the base 10 and the Tiffany 9, really depending on the card and the gem rate and the pop. Here we have Cal Ripken. This is the only one in this series that we're looking at today where the PSA 10 gem rate for the Tiffany is actually tougher than the PSA 10 base. PSA 9, $112 on this one. PSA 10 base, only $527. Again, no recent PSA 10 Tiffany sale. Pop is only 12 on this one. They probably don't circulate too often. There's a summary of the data. This kind of wraps up episode 3, 1986 edition. Hope to drop 1987 in the coming weeks. Otherwise, I'll see you on the next video. Thanks.